Ka Kongres ka badan hakaliang persya ha ka jylla mentang sngi kalah kynthoh ting halor karai jong ka kenhun menteri jong sorkar MDA ha khat sau tarik bahkan ba khli ya karam ka balakot hadu syajar laispa sausan penyo klur jong katanat MEPDCL kaban syem na ka Rural Electrification Corporation bat na ka Power Finance Corporation kani ka jing ba khli jong ka sorkar ya katei karam jong ka MEPDCL kalong banla ban siono ya baro kiram giba katei katanat boarding jong ka jylla kelas akut menta labun snem habakran sekilat pathai khubor menta kasngi na kaliang unong aiktin jong ka kongres u zenit sangma ula kynthoh ting da ka baong bakani karai jong ka sorkar kan pynkhia shuh ya ka jylla kamtam bat kan penyo onong ya kitu company ki ba ya katei karam nomor nadu basdang ban yo kete karam ka jylla kalah ban siu bet ya kasut ka bakot hadu shpo klur ha ka shibanai uzenit ula kynthoh ting anu halor ka jing bam shimkhia jong sorkar hadin ka jing du no jong ka phase 3 bat phase 4 jong ka umyam hydro power project min shimsnam ulo ong bak sorkar ka jaka bakan ba khli ya kete karam ka bala ban pynkhia ya ka jylla kaladai ban shimkhia ban barambot ya kite phase 3 bat phase 4 jong ka umyam da ka ba kenla banyo jimentoy hadu shispa klur ha ka shisnem ha ka ju kapor nong yalam jong ko kongres ulah thiar ting ru ya ka jingthung kam CMD ni chairman and managing director jong katanat MEPDCL da ka joint secretary ka bahap tang ha kerdan MCS uloong ba ya ka kam hapo MEPDCL ka badai ban pej hadu komba hajar klur ka jingmi jong ka pisa bat palat sau hajar ngut kinong trei ladai ban syem dari kerdan ki baritdo kom ki principal secretary ne wat ha kerdan jong chief secretary bat ulabu jing keliru bana kaliang ka sorkar kadon ayu selendat bakalabu ya ka CMD ka badang hap tang hapo ka kerdan jong ka joint secretary.
Whatever I have submitted before you, in my submission everything is clear. I think whatever supplementaries you are putting forward has already been covered in my submission. No, I said before it was not less than the rank of principal secretary or additional chief secretary or chief secretary himself or herself used to occupy this post. It's just joint secretary. I don't want to go into the qualification and all. I think it is understood. The overall situation. Something is wrong very seriously in the emission, which the government has failed to rectify and correct timely to avoid such anomalies, such irregularities in the company. The entire management is in mess. So, if you try to analyze glaringly, the reason may be due to weakness in the leadership, maybe due to inexperienced leadership lingering in taking reign of the company, that is emission, the holding company. The company leadership is very weak, very junior officer who is just in the rank of joint secretary has been made chairman and managing director, CMD, of the holding company, that is MECL. And we have brought this serious allegation against the government. So I want the Honorable Chief Minister, Mr. Conrad Sangma, to respond and give categorical reply and respond to this allegation immediately. On the 14th of this month, the Meghalaya government has approved a loan of rupees 1,345 0.72 crore. The junior officer which I have referred to, who is lingering upon the taking the responsibility of to rein the affairs of the MSCL. She herself is the Joint Secretary of Power in the government. She herself is the Director Corporate Affairs in the company, and she herself is the Director of Finance in the company. Never before we have seen this kind of things. And if you talk about the board of directors, the composition, who are there? The CMD, who is also the same person, the Director of Corporate Affairs, who is also the same person, and two independent directors who has been pulled from outside, some retired officers. So whenever any important decision is taken in the board meeting of the board of directors, everything is monopoly. It is coming more than 36 lakhs. That is the loss incurred in one single day only. Then 36 lakhs into 30. How much it is coming? 10.8 crores loss of 1 month, lost in 1 month. That means for the last 1 year, these two machines under Umiam hydroelectric power project has not been restored, thereby incurring loss of more than 100 crores. Is it not a big amount in the context of the state of Meghalaya? Why the company has failed to restore it? Big question arises. Now, the question is the company going to get benefit out of this? And if the company is not getting benefit out of this, then who is getting benefit? The question arises. The lenders who are lending the loan, they are benefited because they are getting back their money with interest. And the central PSUs like NIPCO, NTPC, OTPC, they will be benefited because they are getting their dues cleared. It will be a burden to the company because we should, while taking loan, we should always look at the interest, the burden. The interest is 9.5%, which is very high. And the company, MEPDCL, will have to pay the interest of more than 10 crores per month from the day it receives the loan till the completion of 3 years. And after 3 years, they will have to start giving repayment of the principal money along with the interest for another 7 years. So it will be a financial burden to the company itself. Reasonable doubt to think that there is a malafide intention by the government. The government must be doing all this in connivance with some of the business houses, because it reflected even during the allotment of certain tenders, works, when certain tenders were awarded, it was a monopoly. Be it in case of the tender of Slovakia or any other tender. For instance, Slovakia. One company from Mumbai-based company and another Delhi-based company, they got the work, they were awarded. The major chunk, 70% of the work were awarded to them. And that too, 50% above the schedule rate, 71% above the schedule rates, but 30% of the total quantum of work which were given to the local contractors, the poor indigenous local contractors, were awarded as per the schedule rate. See, where is injustice? On the 21st of July 2020, another machine having the generating capacity of 42 megawatt under Mintidu Leska project has also become out of order, incurring loss of 25 lakhs per day. Is it not a big amount? And without going deep into the matter, and without doing any proper inquiry or investigation, abruptly after a few days, one resident engineer who was posted there has been suspended, resulting in some agitational program being conducted by the Engineers Association in this regard. I am not against any such action that has been taken against any officer. But why the management has failed to restore that machine, which is incurring huge loss to the state exchequer, to the company, which in turn comes to the state government as a burden, financial burden. Prior to this, very senior IS officers, not less than the rank of principal secretary, or maybe additional chief secretary, or even sometimes chief secretary, used to occupy that post of CMD in MSJ. So now, surprisingly, very junior officer, just at the rank of joint secretary, has been met the CMD of such a big company, the company of more than 2,000 crores, the company which is having more than 4,000 employees. What is the intent of the government? This very issue has been brought by me in the last session on the floor of the House. And the Chief Minister said that it was just a stopgap arrangements which will be immediately taken care of, and regular full-fledged CMD will be appointed in MUCL. But unfortunately, till that, the same person has been lingering upon as being the CMD of the MUCL. So, my point is, why it is happening? Why is the government allowing this to happen? Why is the government continuing to keep the same person to be the CMD of the company, thereby spoiling the morale of the senior officers? And as per the convention and the practice, there should have been representative from the planning department, which is not happening. There should have been representative from the finance department, which is not happening. There should have been representative from power department, which is not happening. It's a complete mess in the management of MSL. One machine each in stage 3 and stage 4, having the generating capacity of 30 megawatt in each machine, has been out of order, and it is not generating power for about 1 year, for the last 1 year. Now, which is the loss? How much loss being incurred by not restoring it? You can do the arithmetic. 30 megawatts multiplied with 1000, 30 plus 30, 2 machines, capacity of 30 megawatts. That means 30 plus 30 is 60 megawatts. Multiply into 1000, becoming 60,000. That is kilowatt. Multiply into 24. That means 7,20,000 units per day. In other words, it will be 0.72 MU, million units, loss of generation per day. Now, if you convert it into monetary value, let us consider that value at rupees 2.5 per unit. Then 7,20,000, that means 0.72 MU into rupees 2.5. Who is getting benefit out of this? When we are going through financial problems and these kind of activities are being seen, means there is a reasonable doubt that there is something fishy. After it was assured by the Honorable Chief Minister in the House, till now no action has been taken. You know what? This is the habit of the Honorable Chief Minister, Mr. Conrad Sangma, that just for the sake of speaking something or for the sake of replying, he will reply on the floor of the House, and he doesn't bother as to what he is speaking, even in the House, and he will not bother to do anything. That is the habit and nature of the Chief Minister of Meghalaya.